What is up, everybody? J Nell here with my UFC 214 prediction videos happening this Saturday. It is the most stacked card of the entire year, and I am crazy excited for it. Not only are there 3 title fights from the prelims on up, explosive event. So let's get into it. First up on the main event of the prelims, I'm choosing Ricardo Lamas to beat Jason Knight. This is going to be an explosive fight. Jason Knight is super scrappy with underestimated skill and speed. If Ricardo Lamas takes him lightly, he can get this fight from him, but I am choosing Ricardo Lamas. Next up on the main card, or first up on the main card, I am choosing Jimmy Manuwa to beat Volkan Oezdemir. I'm nervous about that one as well, because I think that Jimmy's been focused on trying to get a title shot, and I understand that, but do not take Volkan lightly. He's a meat and potatoes type of fighter. He's a wrestling base. He has great cardio. He is stronger than he looks. If he does get tagged by Jimmy, he'll grab a hold of him, try to recover there, take him to the ground. So Jimmy can't take him lightly. I think he has more diversity and more tools in his toolbox, so he should win, but should be a good way to open the main card. Next up, we have Donald Cowboy Cerrone against Robbie Lawler, and I have no idea who's going to win this fight. I still don't. Let's talk about it. Both coming off losses. Robbie, of course, from losing the belt in a knockout from Tyron Woodley. And then before that, that crazy fight with Rory McDonald. You have Donald Cerrone, who basically fought 2 months in a row. Everyone feels he fought too soon and ended up getting KO'd by Jorge Masvidal. He fought sooner than Robbie. Robbie's actually been off for a year, so there's ring rust to consider. Also, Robbie's been to the top of the mountain already, so there's motivation to consider as well. Cowboy, of course, has the Muay Thai base, and as I always quote Joe Rogan, I don't know if he has a belt in Brazilian. I don't know if he has a belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but it's black. Okay, I just had like a mental there, moving too quick. So his jiu-jitsu skills are highly underrated. I think he will be quicker than Robbie Lawler, especially with the feet. I'm not quite sure with the hands, but I think with both, actually, he might be quicker than Robbie Lawler, especially with the body movement as well. He's a bit more unpredictable, but actually so is Robbie Lawler, especially once he gets going. He's the type of fighter, once he gets punched in the face, he really gets going, and he makes great adjustments as the fight goes on. Wherever Cowboy's doing that might work, Robbie will counteract that. He will be better as the fight goes on. He gets stronger as the fight goes on. He's also been there and been fighting these 5-round fights, so it might take longer for him to get started. Robbie Lawler has better defense. He slips and slides, punches. He is quicker than he seems. He's extremely powerful. I think he may have the power edge as far as the punching, but again, they both have great wrestling skills. They both scrap. They're both going to be crowd favorites. The crowd is going to go bananas during this fight, and I don't even want to pick because I love both fighters so much. Don't even want to pick. But because Robbie Lawler has been to the top of the mountain before, and Cowboy has not, that is the only reason why I am picking Donald Cowboy Cerrone. On to the first of the 3 title shots. First up, we have the vacant women's featherweight championship, and finally we're going to get this spot filled. We have the Tonya Evinger, the women's Invicta bantamweight champion. She's coming on over on short notice too, filling in the spot, and she is a scrapper, taking on who this division was created for in the first place. Let's be real, Miss Chris Cyborg. So, I actually think this is going to be a better fight than most people think. If you haven't looked at Evinger, please look at her fights. She has a wrestling base. She's a wrestler first. She has a great chin, great cardio. She's a scrapper. She's strong. She hits hard, and she is a killer. And she will take advantage of any mistake that Chris may make. Also, I think when she gets clocked, and it is when she gets clocked, I think she's immediately going to try to grab a hold of her and try to wrestle her. I don't think she's going to try to stand in space very much at all. And if anyone can get out of the first round, I'm thinking it's a Tonya Evinger. I wish she had more time though, but still, this woman is game. As far as the scrappy, hustle, intangible edge, I actually give that to her. She fills in the spaces. She's very creative. She thinks well on her feet. She makes adjustments. So again, I'm very high on Tonya Evinger. If anyone can last a round, it's her. Chris Cyborg, of course, punches harder than her male weight class counterparts, as hard. You can hear everything that she lands, whether it's a punch or a knee or a kick or whatever. Muay Thai practitioner. She also has a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She's a decent wrestler as well. She is fit, looks like she's ready to go and hungry for this title. In this weight class that was created for her, I am picking her to win. but she cannot take Tonya Evinger lightly. She is a true vet. She's very smart. Again, she makes good adjustments makes any mistakes by Chris Cyborg. Tonya Evinger has great submissions. She will take advantage of it. And again, I think I'm gonna bet on the round here. I think Chris is gonna win, but I'm gonna say that Tonya Evinger gets out of the first round. Gonna say that. Now on to the co-main event. We're seeing the UFC welterweight champion Mr. Tyron Woodley taking on old man Maia, Demian Maia, who I'm very pleased to see finally get this title shot. He's on a hell of a run. He's fighting the best jiu-jitsu, the best MMA of his career. He has weaponized his jiu-jitsu, Mr. Old Man Maia, as I like to call him. He's 39 years old, has too many Brazilian jiu-jitsu and jiu-jitsu titles to count, from worlds to nationals to amateurs to pros to whatever. Again, and he has weaponized that jiu-jitsu. He does not lay and pray. He does not hold on to you. He's throwing punches and elbows. He's busting you up in the midst of trying to take your neck off and rip your arm off and take a knee and submit while standing. He is fearless on the feet. He has enough boxing and enough kicks and enough things on the feet to disguise his takedown attempts, and he is relentless. If he gets an arm on you, he does not let go. He pushes you up against the fence. He lays his body on you. He drags you to the ground. So he has truly weaponized his jiu-jitsu and completed his toolbox as a mixed martial artist, fighting the greatest MMA of his career. I'm so pleased to see him get this title shot because he's earned it. Everybody feels that way. He's a nice guy. He didn't have to talk trash to get it, and that's kind of nice to see. Now, the champion, Mr. Tyron Woodley, is a wrestling base, but has developed a full and complete game. He has submissions, he has jiu-jitsu, he has power in both hands. I do believe he'll be quicker than Demian Maia on the feet for sure. I think he will have total and complete advantage on the ground. I think he punches harder. I think he'll be quicker. I think he has more diversity in his tool set. I think his movement is more diverse. So I think old man Maia is going to have to really do his best. I hope he's been working on his stand-up game to disguise his wrestling and his grappling, because again, Tyron has a wrestling base. Tyron better not take old man Maia lightly. Old man Maia has a chin. He has decent cardio, and this will be a 5-round fight. They got the kind of equal cardio, actually, quite frankly. So whoever gets off first will make a big difference in this fight, as far as the fight going on, as far as who gets stronger as the fight goes on. The difference in this one is I don't think that Demian Maia is going to be able to take Tyron Woodley down in the way that he did Jorge Masvidal and the other people that he's fought. I think Tyron is much faster. I think he's got all the tree trunk legs. He's extremely strong. Everyone says those muscles soak up his oxygen and that he'll gas towards the end of the fight. But if you looked at his last few fights, seems like he's got a handle on that. He's been able to last the 5 rounds and last well, manage his cardio well. So I don't think he's going to have that problem here. I actually think we might see that from Demian. I think Demian's going to have to work extremely hard in the beginning to take Tyron down, in the end to take Tyron down, and I think it's going to drain his gas tank. And as the fight goes on, I do believe that Tyron would be the one to get stronger. I'm choosing Tyron Woodley, but this is a fight where if old man Maia wins, I'll be delighted. But I am going with the champ, Tyron Woodley. Now, main event, and the UFC light heavyweight champion, DC Daniel Cormier, finally taking on the rematch with some people say the unofficial light heavyweight champion, Mr. Jon Bones Jones. Both men, as far as fighters, I love to death. Both men's personality, and as men, meh. Not quite sure. Would love to get to know them beyond their TV personas, because I think they probably both have had a little bit of bad rap, especially DC. Now, this fight. This has been like 2-3 years in the making. Jon Jones hasn't fought in like a year. We all, let's talk about his skills first. He is the challenger. He did not lose to DC. He beat DC in the past, but got stripped of his belt due to his personal decisions. And I totally agree with that decision. Now, has the Muay Thai, has a wrestling base, but has great Muay Thai, has great submissions, has power in both hands, has a 12-inch reach advantage over DC, uses every bit of it. Not even really disputed as possibly a GOAT, a living legend. Had he not have all these personal problems, will his head be in the game? Is a year too much? Will we see ring rust? He's 30 years old now. Is he a changed man? These are the things. His mental game. Is he mentally prepared? Because when he gets inside of the octagon, he's mentally there. He makes adjustments on the feet. He debuts moves. He's one of the most creative, unique fighters we've seen in my lifetime. We are in awe watching this man. That is why we want to see him achieve greatness. All right, unofficial champ in a lot of folks' eyes. Not mine. You got stripped. You've been gone for too long. DC has defended the belt several times. He's the champ. So let's talk about the champion. DC, of course, was the Olympic wrestler, was the Olympic champion, but actually came in fourth just off the podium. Only has one loss, and that is to Jon Jones. He is the best wrestler in the division. Can get that leverage. Can get it underneath you, can toss you like a rag doll. He's developed power in both hands, a great stand-up game, has submissions as well. He submitted Rumble Johnson twice, so he's worked on submissions. He's quicker than he looks, stronger. Oh, actually, he looks strong. He's even stronger. He's strong like an ox. He can toss people through the air. These grown men, it's quite impressive. Has, like I said, power in both hands, knockout power in both hands. If you remember the last fight, though, even though one would say he's the better wrestler, it was Jon Jones who took him down first. It was Jon Jones who scored more takedowns. We thought Jon had to use that 12-inch reach advantage to stay away from him, but he did not. He beat him close in quarters, dirty boxing up against the cage. Jon Jones, again, we heard all of Jon Jones. If Jon Jones isn't truly prepared, though, I believe DC will win. He's had a year off. His mental game, is he right? Has the punishment and all of that, or lack thereof, truly made a difference in this man's life, his motivation? Is he, had the grappling competitions, has that been enough? All of these, I don't know. The one thing is what's happened in his personal life with his mother. That might have truly changed Jon Jones, if not anything else. So I want to see greatness unfold in front of my eyes. I want to see him achieve this, and not because I'm a Jon Jones fangirl, even though I am, but I'm a fan of his skill. I'm a fan of the fighter, and I want to see greatness. I'm choosing him to get his belt back. Yeah. Let me know your picks, any injury updates, how excited you are for this entire card, how you feel about the personal lives and things of all of these fighters involved, including Cyborg's personal troubles as well. Let me know how you're excited, who you're excited for. Talk to me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I will be doing other predictions because the prelims is stacked as well, so please look out for that. Subscribe, like, talk to me, take care. Goodbye.